Before we begin, we can check our homework from lesson 6. The 13 was 70% of 720, and the answer was 504. For number 14, 15% of 220, the answer was 33. And finally, 15 is 65% of 200, which is 130. I hope you did well. Leave me a comment either here on YouTube or on Google Classroom. Let me know how you did and whether or not you had some kind of problems that maybe I can help you with in the lessons to come. Hope to hear from you. And here we go. Good day and welcome back. We are on remote lesson 7, using multiplication to divide by a fraction. Now, if you're on Google Classroom and one of my students that way, make sure you have a copy of that. I uploaded that earlier. If you don't, then you're looking at one right now, and you can always pause this video, copy it, write it down. But I will tell you one thing. Before you write everything down, we are going to change a few things on this sheet. There's so many different numbers on each question, it just makes your mind go crazy. So let's fix that. So if you have your sheet and your pencil, I want you to do something. I want you to go to where the equal sign is. And I want you to, everything on the right of that, you're going to just scratch off. You don't need that. You're going to do that with all the questions, 1 through 10. Here's another equal sign. Let's get rid of that. We don't need that. Over here, we don't need that. You know what? Let's try something else. See if you could do this at home. I'm going to try. Snap my fingers, and when I do, this whole sheet will be done. I can tell you what. I bet you I can. Bam! And it worked. Awesome. All right. Those people who don't have it, pause it now. And if you could read these on the screen, which you should be able to, go ahead and copy them down for yourself. You know what? Staying at home has been pretty rough, but really not that bad for now, at least. My wife just made some awesome tortilla chicken soup. We'll have that for the next couple days. But man, I'm telling you, it's really good. I hope that you guys are finding yourselves well and taken care of. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some other things that's happened. Not much. Staying at home. I've been watching a lot of Star Trek. I watched the movies, and then I went from the movies to Star Trek: The Next Generation, which then I started watching, and it's on Amazon Prime. And it's just one after another after another. I fell asleep a couple times on the couch. No, it's good. All right, let's take a look at question 1. Question 1 says 1/2 divided by 2/3. How do we figure that out? How do we figure it out using multiplication? Well, there's a cool thing. When we are going to divide two fractions, we do this thing which is called keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. So keep, change, flip. Okay, let's take a look. 1/2, we're going to keep it. We're going to have 1/2. Multiplication, remember, keep, change. So multiplication would be for division. So we're going to we're going to change the division to a multiplication. And we're going to flip the second fraction. So instead of 2/3, we're going to flip it so it's 3/2. Now we do our math. When we multiply two fractions, we go numerator times numerator equals 3. And denominator times denominator equals 4. So 1/2 divided by 2/3 is 3/4. 4/5 divided by 1/4. We're gonna keep, change, and flip. So we're gonna keep 4/5. We're gonna change division to multiplication. And we're going to flip 1/4 to 4/1. Now we do the math. Numerator times numerator. 4 times 4. 16. Now it's going to go 5 times 1. 5 times 1 is 5. Take note that the 16/5 is actually considered an improper fraction. An improper fraction is when the decimal
denominator, not decimal,
is smaller than the numerator. Now we'll figure out how to change that into a mixed number, but at this point we're just going to leave it the way it is. We have 2/5 divided by 3/4. What do we do first?
keep, change, flip.
We keep the 2/5. We change the division sign into a multiplication sign, and we flip 3/4 to 4/3. Now we do our math. We know that when we multiply two fractions, the equation is numerator times numerator over denominator times denominator, which is, in this case, 2 times 4 is 8, and 5 times 3 is 15. So your answer for 2/5 divided by 3/4 is 8/15.
You know what? Staying at home has been pretty rough, but really not that bad for now, at least. My wife just made some awesome tortilla chicken soup. We'll have that for the next couple days. But man, I'm telling you, it's really good. I hope that you guys are finding yourselves well and taken care of. Let's see, I'm trying to think of some other things that's happened. Not much. Staying at home. I've been watching a lot of Star Trek. I watched the movies, and then I went from the movies to Star Trek The Next Generation, which then I started watching, and it's on Amazon Prime, and it's just one after another after another. I fell asleep a couple times on the couch. And I was getting a lot of time to spend with the dog. That's been pretty good. Going on lots of walks. I'm thinking I'm going to do a stunt today. Yeah, I can't hurt myself. That would be a problem. I don't want to go to the doctors, but I am going to do something different today. I'm thinking about it.
This one's a little different. We're going to go 5, 6. What do we do?
Keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip.
We keep it. We change. We flip. Did you see how we flipped it? This was 5/12. Now that's 12/5. Now we multiply. 5 times 12 is 60. 6 times 5 is 30. And yes, it is an improper fraction. All right, question number 5. 3/4 divided by 5/7. We keep the 3/4. We change the division to multiplication. We flip the 5/7 to 7/5. Now we do the math.
3 times 7 is 21. 4 times 5 is 20.
All right, let's take a look at number 6. Number 6 is considerably different than the other 5 questions that we did. The one thing that makes it really different is the whole number that we're given here. So now instead of saying fraction divided by fraction, we're saying there's a whole number here plus a fraction that needs to be divided by this. So the easiest way to do that is just to take the first fraction and convert it into an improper fraction. Now, how do we do that? That's the question. Well, it's pretty simple. You take the whole number and you take that and you multiply it by 3. So 1 times 3. What's 1 times 3? Well, in this case, it's 3. So we have 3. Now you take the 3 and you add the 1, which is the numerator. So it's 3 plus 1 is 4. So you would convert it to 4/3. And now you bring down the same, and we have the same question, right? This is 1 1/3, and we just changed it. We converted it to 4/3. And so we have 4/3 divided by 3/7. Well, 4/3, we change to multiplication, and we flip 3/3 to 7/3. Now, how do we figure that out? 4 times 7 is 28. 3 times 3 is 9. So your answer, once we got everything done, to 1 1/3 divided by 3/7 is 28/9. Now, of course, we could change this back into a proper number, but that we're going to save for tomorrow's lesson. All right, let's take a look at number 7. Number 7, I don't want to do. Why? Because there's an open box. I don't want to do that right now. I want it to be straightforward. So let's just scratch off number 7, and we'll go to number 8. Again, scratch off number 8. I don't like the question for today. Okay, what we're going to do now for number 9 is to get a whole separate piece of paper because we have some writing to do. And in order to do this, we need our space and we need to keep it clean. So the question is 1 2/3 divided by 2 1/4. So what I'm going to do is take this and I'm going to replace it with a nice, good, clean sheet of paper. Let's see if I can come a little further out. There we go. And I'm going to rewrite the question. The question was 1 2/3 divided by 2 1/4. Okay. We need to convert the mixed numbers into an improper fraction. To do that, it's 1 times 3 plus 2. So 1 times 3 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. And we keep the denominator. This question also has a second mixed number, 2 1/4. Again, the equation for converting a mixed number is to take the whole number, multiply it by 4, then add it to 1. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. 9, and keep the denominator 4. So now that I converted both mixed numbers, we're left with 5/3 divided by 9/4. Now how do we do it? We go back to the keep
change, flip. 5 times 4 is 20. 3 times 9, 27.